Since the start of the pandemic, I've been doing a fair amount of art, and a lot of that has been plein air sketching outdoors, which is great when the weather is good, but less good when it's cold. So I'd like to think that I'm fairly hardy when it comes to the cold. I'm from the north, and if I'm up and moving about, I don't really feel it. Or I'll happily go to the supermarket in you know a t-shirt and cut-offs even when it's snowing. But yeah, if I end up sitting still in the cold, my feet and my hands turn to absolute blocks of ice, which is not great if I need those hands for sketching. So the solution? Heated gloves. The most heated gloves that I found on Amazon are designed for bikers, so they aren't very flexible. And they kind of assume that you're going to be attached to a motorcycle, and they aren't going to be very good for drawing, because they're quite bulky. But there are a fair few of these sort of mitten types to be found if you look. The mittens themselves, it's a reasonably thin, good thin, not bad thin, and flexible knit there. And I've got this set that I got came with two pairs, one in black and one in grey. And inside they both have one of these little patches, which is attached with Velcro, so you can pull it out when you need to wash the grubbiness. Yep, there it is again. The grubbiness off the gloves. And it looks like these just have little metal strips throughout, and all the heat comes from the electric current through those, making a resistance. So let's put those back in. Right, each of those little patches here comes with an in connector, and then we've got this power cable right here. And when I got this, it was only forked up to about 30 centimetres, and then the rest was one single cable, but I was able to rip that. It's one of these double cables that you can just carefully rip down the middle. So if you'll see after this point, this togetherness is how it came, and yeah, just a careful tear of the two halves gives me two longer bits in order to run them up and down my sleeves. So I'm gonna pop these on and let's give them a whirl. Even though there's a slight lack of flexibility by having the patch on the inside of my hand, I don't think it's enough to stop me from holding a pen, and I feel like this is probably the most effective side of my hand to have it on, so it can sort of like hold the heat in. I don't know, maybe I'm imagining things. Of course I should have plugged them in before I put them on, but oh well, we can manage. There we go, and that's them plugged in. Let's just untangle this a bit. So I'm just going to plug them into my computer here to see how they go. But of course, in the real world, I'm not going to have a computer with me while I'm out plein air sketching, and that's where this power bank comes in, which was a present from my family secret Santa. Thank you, Santa. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how many hours of hot hands I will get out of this, but I look forward to finding out. It's already feeling pretty warm. I think warmer than I would just feel if I was just wearing gloves. Yeah. Oh yes, it's definitely started heating quite quickly there. That does feel snug. Yeah, that's pretty much up to what I assume is full temperature now, very, very quickly. And it's definitely warm. Even when I'm pressing the patches right into my skin, it's not an uncomfortable warmth. But it's at this point, all the heating is doing is fighting against the chill of the house, which is, I think, fairly warm at maybe like 17 or 18 degrees in here at the moment. So I don't know what it's going to be like when we go out in the much colder than that. I think it's on track to be 4 degrees tomorrow. It was 2 today, and I bottled out of going and drawing in 2 degrees. That just seemed a little excessive for me, so fingers crossed for a warmer but not too warm day tomorrow when I take these guys out to test them in the field. This field. But first, before heading out, I've got to make sure that the rest of me is just as snug as my hands are going to be. Plenty of layers and plenty of overlap at the gaps. Absolutely maffed in when I'm walking, but indispensable when I'm sat still. I'm back, and just in time because it is pitch black outside, which is another fun part of plein air in wintertime, or at least in the UK at these latitudes. Daylight hours are at a premium, and even at noon it's pretty uninspiring sunlight. Yes, that hits the spot. So yeah, I was pretty chuffed with these and how they went actually. I had them off when I left the house, but I was about 100 yards down the road and my finger ends were already going nope, 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 nope. So I ended up plugging them in and had them plugged in for the entire walk and the sitting still and drawing portion of the event, which was, I think all told about 45 minutes maybe, sort of 10 minute walk out, half an hour drawing, 10-minute walk back sort of thing. That's 50 minutes. Yeah, I can add. And it was good actually. When I tried them on in at my desk, I was worried actually that I might find them uncomfortably hot, but that was me putting them on whilst I was in a warm house. Whereas when I had them on when I was walking around in the cold, it was actually just about right actually. It's very comforting, though I did end up sort of walking around like this or pressing my hands into myself to make sure that the little patches made contact with as much of my palms as possible. If you can hear the noise in the background, forgive me, that's my husband puttering about. Yeah, I got a bit of a sketch done, just the one colour in a foodie nib. In kind of a sort of a greyish purple ink, which felt, just about right for the twilight. But yeah, overall, I would say that the heated gloves are a great success. Yeah, the cables with the power are a bit of a faff, and I haven't fully figured out the best way to do those. At the moment, I have the cable come down my front, and it was going to a pocket on my leg where the power bank was. I also tried at one point hooking them up. My hoodie has a hole in the pocket, I assume for headphones, and I was just about able to get them through there. But there's just a small bit too much slack for me on the wire, which then has to be sort of handled, but not quite enough to wind it up and tie it up with the ties. So just worst of both worlds there in terms of length versus shortness. Yeah, but I'm pretty chuffed with those. I do feel like I suffer a great deal with sort of cold hands, cold fingers, and cold toes as well. But heated socks are not yet in my repertoire. Though now I think about it, of course, because these are just patches. I could take the other pair of gloves, pull the patches out, and put them in my shoes. In my shoes, and run another wire up from one wire down from my hands, one wire up from my shoes. And my power pack does have two USB outs in it, so seems a bit silly, but I do get very cold toes, so maybe I'll try that in future. Anyway, yeah. Hope you all have a smashing day, and I'll see you next time.